You guys are so punctual, I don't know what to say.
Well, I don't know where you're here, so.
Yeah, sure.
How's it going? How you doing? How's it going, man?
That's up, buddy.
All right. Okay. I have to work on this. Okay.
Secrets on secret now.
Yes. Sure. Yes, it's not easy to get. All right.
You didn't hear anything. Okay.
Okay.
So, good afternoon, everybody. It's barely afternoon on this final day of Baltimore Comic Con 2024. Who's been having fun at the show, first of all? I know, Roger, you have. That awesome drawing of Howard the Duck by Mark Buffett. It's fabulous.
We want to jump him on the way out.
Welcome to Untold Stories of Comics Creators. I'm Phillips. I'm hosting today, and this is my silly panel. With me, I have these delightful creators: Vito Delsante, Jamal Igle, Segura, and Jimmy Palmiotti. Okay, so we're going to see how much we can get through on this because there's a lot of fun stuff. Here's how it works. I have in front of me in this PowerPoint a series of statements from our panelists. They are statements about things that they've had happen to them or done in their careers or even before them. And it is up to them to discuss amongst themselves who they think it applies to, and then we will have them vote on exactly who it is that they think is the person behind the statement. Now, if the statement is about you, you can try to misdirect. And you can tell them, no, it's obviously that guy over there. All right?
All right.
So we have scoring. Scoring works like this. If you vote and you are correct, you get 1 point.
Yay!
But if you manage to misdirect everybody else off of you and you get no votes for you, then you get 3 points. Last thing I'll add before we begin is there might be a statement or two in here about me.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's a lot of it.
So we're going to have fun. All right, everyone ready?
Sure.
First statement. This person, and it's very appropriate since last night was the Ringo Awards. This person once attended the Ringo Awards cocktail hour in a swimsuit. So panelists, who do we think is good and bad?
Oh, definitely Alex.
Definitely Alex.
Have you ever seen Alex in a video? It's
I wish. No, Alex, who do you think it might be?
I think it's Jamal.
Wow.
I
Okay.
can't fit into a swimsuit.
Pointing back and forth. Okay. Anyone else? Vito, how about you? What do you think?
My initial guess was Jimmy, but then when Alex said Jamal, I was like, yeah, there was that year, like, you, like, lost, like, a ton of weight, and you were just, like, buff. I'm like,
You were showing off.
yeah, that
a
makes
little
sense.
bit, a little bit. Can't do
I
that.
think it's Jamal, too. I do. Yeah. I've never done something like that.
I mean, I could see you doing it as a joke, but, like, now I was like thinking.
I mean, how big is the swimsuit? Was it a Speedo? Or was it, like, there's like a lot of swimsuits. Like the old time ones?
Also, were there swim fins?
Oh.
Floaties.
Floaties or snorkels.
I'm still sticking in Jamal.
Yeah.
I'm still sticking in Jamal.
All right. Final votes. Anyone want to change their minds?
I'm still thinking it's Alex.
Okay.
It seems like the kind of thing you do.
All right. Will the person who wants to attend the Ringo Awards cocktail hour in swimsuit, please raise your hand.
Initially, I thought it was you.
I heard you say it, I was like.
And then I'm like, that's not a very Italian thing.
Once I tell you who I was with, you'll totally understand.
Oh, now that I know exactly.
Nelson DeCastro? No, okay.
I was with Dean and Krista Casano.
That would take it away.
We had to evacuate because there was a thunderstorm. So
And you
just
swam
happened
through
that Cox jumped in the water.
Swim down 6th Avenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was wearing shorts.
Oh,
Not
Wow.
Very good. So 3 points.
No picture?
Somebody does have a picture somewhere, and I have like a towel.
In my ball.
Yeah, somebody.
Picture. Okay. All right, we'll move on to the second statement. Ready?
Okay.
This person started his professional career while still in high school.
I'm still gonna go with
Nothing,
guys.
guys.
Look at this guy here. Well, give me a-
You're saying Jamal. Wow.
Vito, I would say.
Oh, Vito?
Yeah, I'm 51.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, I'm 44. I guess it'll be good.
Wait, how many?
I'm gonna keep guessing Vito.
Yeah, I got your turn on the first one. I did too. I think Jamal just, because I think he interned. Yeah. And maybe, kind of said.
Interesting. Alex, any thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's Jamal, yeah.
Oh, man, okay. Get everybody get it?
Yeah.
Last chance. All right, well, the person who started his professional career while still in high school. Raise his hand. Fantastic.
My very first job in the industry was as an intern at DC Comics in my senior year of high school. With, Bob Rozakis and Bob Greenberger and Mike Urey and Andy Helfer. It was so much fun, especially for somebody who is like as much of a DC mark as you can imagine. Like, especially at the time, because this is when Andy and Kevin Dooley were doing the Wahaha Justice League. And number one, Andy, Jimmy, you would remember this, Andy wouldn't show up for work until like 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Couldn't find us on the sand.
So you come in and immediately like the music would start playing and smoke would start billowing out of the office and everybody would hang out there. That's where I met Kyle Baker, Kevin McGuire, Mike Mignola.
So what year was this?
This was 89.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Is this,
Fantastic.
did you have anything to do with Milestone? Like, did you work on anything?
I worked, on the very early milestone stuff. So yeah, I worked on Cobalt. Very early days.
I was the white guy. I would say I'm Mediterranean. Italian. It's Mediterranean.
Okay, on to the next. You ready?
Yeah.
This person once had to photocopy a children's book on good manners by Bob Kane. Wow. Did anyone work in a copy shop?
Well,
I don't want to say Jimmy.
I want to say Alex, because it seems like when you're starting out, maybe like an archives at DC or something.
Oh, it does, you know what? I'm gonna guess Alex. That's a good,
But I
that's a
don't know
good
where-
point, right? Oh, it's Vito, though. I want to say Vito again. But I'm thinking Alex, because the books, I would think you would want to copy that.
I wish I had.
I'm gonna say Alex.
I'm going to say Jimmy. I'm going to say Jimmy too.
I'm going to say Alex.
All right. Well, there you go. The person who must have a photocopy of children's book on good manners by Bob Kane. Raise his hand. No way. Sorry, guys.
No incident.
So, since when did Bob Barker get the bid?
Alex Rebecca's in.
I get to do what I want to do. Real quickly, I will tell that when I was in college, I was going to school of visual arts, and I worked in a copy shop a few days a week here and there. And this guy came in. It wasn't Bob Kane. It was like an assistant or something with this book of. I didn't even mention the book was all written in like bad doggerel poetry. With drawings that looked like, I don't know if anyone's ever seen the kind of artwork Bob Kane did before Batman, like cutesy little girl and boy characters.
Right.
Like Dondi.
Maybe a little bit, like a little off kind of stuff. So yeah, I had to make like 20 copies of it. I don't think it ever went anywhere. And I sure wish I kept a copy of it. It was very strange. Okay.
Yeah, that's opportunity for society.
That-
Doesn't do it very well.
We're gonna go on to the next statement. This person once sang karaoke with 4 superstar writers. Not that you aren't superstar writers, but Who do we think it might be?
Alex was in a band. I don't remember if you sang or if you just.
I did.
Okay, so that seems likely to be you.
I hung out with somebody like this.
Yeah, someone can't.
Yeah.
Who likes karaoke? Yeah.
I'm trying.
Could be, yeah.
You know what, I think it's Jamal. I can see him handle that up there.
Well, you know, that's my natural inclination.
Put them in that place. I'll show you how an artist does it.
I'm actually thinking it's Adam.
Oh.
That's what it is.
Now that we got that.
The rest of me don't want that team.
I'm gonna stick with Jamal.
I'm gonna stick with Alex, just.
All right. Will the person who wants that karaoke before Superstar Driver, please? Right.
I see you move. Okay, got it.
Now, this was when I was doing publicity at DC, which was a long time ago. I got to sit in on the 52 writers' room. So it was Giffen, Morrison, Johns, Wade, and brainstorming 52. And it was like this all-day thing. And I was the fly on the wall, just taking notes and deciding, well, how could we promote this?
Right.
Like, what's the best way to? Because it was a huge thing, the first big weekly series. With Giffen doing layouts and a bunch of artists kind of rotating to make it come out on time. Steve Wacker was editing, Segura was his assistant. So we're doing this all day, and by the end of it, we go have this big dinner, and then everyone, the writers, Jeff, Grant, Greg, and Mark, go to this one of these tiny karaoke wall places in Midtown.
Right.
And I'm sitting there watching Grant belt out this amazing version of the Beatles, She Said, She Said, really from memory, and everyone else, I mean, obviously people were half of the leg at that point, but it was fun. It was fun. I was like, this is my life now.
I kind of wish Pete Giffen had gone along with it.
Yeah, I can picture it if you couldn't picture it.
No, not really.
Or,
Outside smoking while he was.
yeah, exactly,
Oh, we avoided it.
yeah.
Okay, on to the next. Ready? A fan wearing the colors of Robin Boy Wonder once asked this person for a sketch. In the nude. Oh, ew.
I'm still gonna go to Jamal.
Who else I saw?
Wearing the colors of Robin.
Like,
I love Robin.
Cosplay, or I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I love Robin, and I definitely draw a few. I feel like if it wasn't Jimmy, I would say it was me. Like somebody was like actually.
It wasn't you. It wasn't you.
They always ask me to draw that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say Jimmy.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Jimmy too.
Okay, Alex, any
I'm gonna
thoughts?
say Vito.
It's Jamal. Jamal.
Do people ask you for a sketch?
Oh yeah, all the time. All the time.
Okay, do you do it?
I do, and I give the caveat. I'm a writer, so it's not gonna be fun. So
Nice. All right, will the person who wants to sketch Robin the Nude, please reveal yourself. Raise your hand.
And you do it.
Okay.
Jamal got naked.
Yeah.
Robin.
I'm gonna tell this story, and it's really funny because both Jimmy and Amanda were at this show. It was this tiny show at a Holiday Inn in Connecticut. This was years ago.
Wow, yeah, long time ago.
And there was this guy who came in, and he's wearing a yellow rain slicker, a red polo shirt, green shorts, and green pro kits, and he's carrying a binder, like a photo album. And he comes up to me, and he's like, "Are you an artist?" Like, "Yeah, I'm an artist. Do you have a problem with nudity?" He's like, "No, I don't usually have a problem." And then he opens the photo album, and it was filled with Polaroids of little boys dressed as Batman.
Oh no. Oh no. Does he have an island off the?
I wanted to call the cops like right there and then, but it was just so, I had never been skeezed out so much at that point in my life as that moment. It was, whoa.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
this story turned into CSI.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to get the face of
That's
that.
disturbing.
Move on to the next.
Dark.
I-
Really dark.
This person thought wholesome.
I think it's our host.
Nah.
Sounds good out.
I like arts. I like
I'm gonna go with that. I hate
Yeah.
that. I think that's a good call.
Yeah.
That's true. I like arts, I like crafts, I hate summer camp. Are you all voting?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, will the person who taught arts, crafts, and summer camp, please raise your hand.
Yeah, that's good.
I can't wait to just.
I used to go away because my parents didn't want 4 boys staying in Brooklyn during the summer. So we used to go up to camp like in Rockland County, which is upstate New York. And I was a counselor for years, and then they made me an arts and crafts teacher. So I had 300 kids a day.
Wow.
And I taught them how to do lanyard, make bird houses, make potholders, bless their parents, using a kiln and all that stuff. Yeah, 300 kids a day. And it was a fun job. And halfway, because the whole summer was like 2 months of camp, in the beginning of August, the parents would come up and slip me money to take extra care of their kids or to make sure their kids' projects were pretty good. So I made a fortune. Every parent was worried that they were going to get something from their kids, so I wound up building half the birdhouse. I managed to make a lot of money from teaching kids arts and crafts in camp.
That's awesome.
And then when it would rain, we would play a game where I'd have the kids come up and make like 3 random lines, and then I would draw something from the 3 random lines in front of them. That kind of thing. It was a fun job.
What was the name of the
Pays better than comics. But
What was the name of the camp?
this one was called Joy Acres. I know.
Joy Acres.
It's like a horror movie title. And the other one was Birchwood.
Oh, okay.
I grew up in Rockland County, is why, because
Wait, what part?
Spring Valley.
Oh, Spring Valley. Yeah, it was a little south. It was,
My grandmother and aunt and cousin lived in Spring.
maybe you guys are related.
That's very
I
possible.
lived in the Chester.
Did you go to Temple's Beth that way?
No, they used to live over in Avon Gardens.
I'm not sure. I know.
On the other side of 59, like the north side, going towards Ramapo High School.
Oh, yeah, I went to Randall High School.
And because I'm older than you guys, there was no mall. There was a bowling alley and a diner on 59, and that's it. And go kart guys. And 2 driveways.
That place is built up like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sad the trip. Anyway.
All right, here we go. On to the next. This person was mistaken for another conference call by 2 different people, including the other person's spouse.
I'm going to say Vito.
Wow. Right on. In other words, that other person, that person's wife, I guess.
Oh,
obviously,
it's gotta be
said,
Vito.
Johnny, it's you.
I want to say, this is going to sound awful. I want to say Jamal because some people can't tell other African Americans other African Americans.
But a spouse?
Maybe wishful thinking.
There you go.
I'm going to say Jamal.
Jamal, what?
I'm still going to say
I'm just thinking with Vito.
You said Vito? Okay. Will the person who was mistaken, yada yada, raise your hand?
You think your dad done Ed Vito?
No. It was Greg Ruck.
Greg.
It was Greg Ruck, and it was both times. It was Greg Ruck.
mistook you for Greg.
Yes, and I'll explain it to you how. I was, it was right after I did Batman Adventures. So I was at the DC booth in San Diego, trying to figure out what time I was supposed to sign. And she just came from behind, like from back behind me, and she just put her hand on my shoulder. All right, honey, let's go. And I turned around, and Jen's a pretty lady, and I said, okay. I'm sorry. And the other person, I was working at Jim Hamlin's University in New York, and it was the first time I met Chris Cross, the artist. And he came up to me and goes, hey man, congratulations on getting the Hulk. And I was so excited, I thought I was writing the Hulk. Cool, man. He goes, I hope we can work together. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, and I go, wait, who do you think I am? And he's like, I'm sorry. And anyway, so, that was me.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, he thought I was Greg. Like they both thought I was Greg. So.
Incredible.
And funny, Greg and I are really good friends now because of all this.
But I have had that happen to me. I have been mistaken for Docell Young. I've been mistaken for Jamar Nicholas.
So, right.
Wow, yeah.
Not in this.
I've been actually, that Temple Smith once mistook me for Sway.
Not the meat?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
That's hilarious. All right, moving on. This person was once threatened by another person wearing a Green Lantern gear. Come on, dude.
Be anybody.
Come on.
Pass it along. I was somebody that really loved Kyle Rayner. Like one of the, what were they called? Like,
Heat.
Heat. Oh, yeah, yes.
How I remember this.
I
Yeah.
remember like that was just on panel.
Yeah.
Wow. So
I would say Jamal.
Yeah, me too. I
I
would
was
say
like Jamal.
I can't think of Jimmy working
Jamal, what
on.
do you think? Jimmy, what do you think? Yeah.
I never.
I'm gonna roll.
I mean, it doesn't make me that I was doing Green Lantern, you just meant somebody.
True. That's true. Oh, I didn't
Wearing
think
Green
that.
Lantern.
Yeah.
I think it's Jimmy.
All right.
I said
Very
Jamal.
quiet.
I still think it's Jamal.
Big side. Big side. Come on. All right.
I can't.
Can't? All right, we're just gonna go ahead then. Say, will this person who was once unfairly threatened, raise your hand.
Yeah.
Let's take us out.
Any other thing I could, but this was just, oh my God. So, yeah,
Yeah, wow.
PFA.
yeah, I mean, you know, here's the thing, like, I used to joke, I had done Green Lantern off and on since 1994. So, you know, not like lengthy runs, but I had like a pretty, you know, substantial presence on the series over the years. And I literally had like members of Heat like email me. I had a guy at a con with like multiple Green Lantern rings and like, oh, you know,
Trying to kill you like how?
oh yeah, like just I hate you, like I hate you so much. Like, why are you on my book?
Doing something right.
Yeah, you know. And I've had people like I had people ask me like, when am I coming back to Green Lantern? Am I taking over Green Lantern? And it's like that's up to them, man. You know, there's nothing I can do about it. But,
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
Glad you're okay.
yeah,
I've
that's
known-
okay.
I've known Jamal almost 30 years.
Except for we're yellow for
A
years.
little over 30 years. And I didn't know about the Robin thing, and I didn't know about like
There's certain stories you
about
don't
Robin.
share.
Oh, no, I'm glad I didn't know about the
I was
Robin.
gonna say, yes, you sit on.
Yeah, just like
Okay. All right, next. This person once spent hours hanging out with two iconic Batman creators.
Jimmy.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's got to,
I'm
I'm gonna say Vito because, I mean, how many?
There's a possibility.
There's always Batman creators around, it's like not a.
That's true.
A thing. So,
Yeah.
I wanna say
I used to do
Vito.
signings too.
Because everybody thought he was Greg Rucka, so. I'm gonna say Vito.
I mean, the easy answer would be Jimmy, but I feel like it's Adam based on that.
Yeah.
On the.
Well, he's saying iconic too,
Yeah.
which is not language, you know, it's
Yeah.
out. I would never even call it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, this is a hard one because both Adam and Alex did publicity at BCC.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
and he's
Jimmy-
always karaoke.
Yeah.
I did it. I did it.
I think it's out.
All right, will the person who once spent hours hanging out with two
Yeah.
iconic
Use the word iconic.
That's a publicity.
Yeah.
Here's your $5.
$5 for that word.
So back at the old DC offices in Manhattan, they would film the DVD extras. And
Right.
they do the animated movie DVD, and then they bring in some creators to talk about the characters and the source material. One of my favorite moments working at DC was my boss popped into my office and he said, "Can you sit with Denny O'Neil for a few hours and wait for his interview?" And I was like, yes. Literally sit with Denny O'Neil for a few hours while he waits for his interview. It was great. We just kind of BS'd for a couple hours, talked about Batman writing. Denny is one of my favorite writers and people, and just like his whole ethos is really important to me as a fan. And I don't think my boss really got that. He's just like, hey,
Yeah.
publicity manager, handle this thing that I don't
Do your
do.
job.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another time, Jerry Robinson, before he passed, he did a
Wow.
Yeah, he did a book, just his memoir. He did a memoir.
Right.
And sometimes at the DC offices, creators would come and do signings for the staff. And my boss came in and he was like, I think we need somebody to hang out with Jerry while he does his signing for the whole day. I think you remember that signing.
Yeah. Also, I was his date to the Eisner Awards.
Yes. But just, that's one of those things I'll never forget, sitting with this guy who was such a major part of the early days of Batman.
Yeah.
And telling stories while everyone would come in and sign, get their book signed, and just being able to hang out with him was really special.
Wow.
Yeah. I couldn't guess my way. It's iconic.
It's like,
Yes. All right. Next up, this person drew two separate comics that disappeared without a trace, years apart, several years apart.
Disappeared.
Like,
Then disappeared.
Well,
So they never found, that means, I guess, or somehow.
probably got lost or something.
I'm wondering if it's.
Left in two separate taxis, perhaps?
Oh.
I'm gonna say Vito.
I'm gonna say Vito.
Yeah.
Because I just leave things behind.
Yes, exactly.
But I don't draw, so I would say.
You don't draw at all?
No, I mean, like I said, I do like crappy head sketches. That's about
Is
it.
it a book of head sketches?
If you want to buy that book, I'm happy to sell it.
No, I mean, it's gonna have to be Jamal.
No,
No,
Wait,
Jimmy
what
is
are you
an
talking
artist.
about?
I've seen Jimmy, your pencils are good.
Oh, yeah, mine also disappeared, that's how.
Well, we don't know if
You
they were
would've heard
stolen.
about that.
We don't know if they were stolen or lost in the mail or what.
They were never, I'm assuming they were never found.
Oh, and remember with all those years that you had Vince bringing pages for you into the office?
Yes.
He steals a lot.
Yeah.
Vince is a thief. But a whole book is different than a page, right? This went through two separate comics, so that's a whole comic. It's Jamal.
I want to say. Jimmy's deflecting a lot.
I'm sticking with Jamal.
That is a good way to go. Deflection is an art. All right. Well, the person who.
I don't think I guessed it.
Oh, you're still thinking about it?
Yeah, I'm gonna, let's narrow it down. I'm gonna say Jimmy.
I'm gonna say Jimmy too.
Okay. Well, the person who somehow misplaced or lost two comics, raise your hand. Come on. Nobody's raising their hand. This came from you. I have it down here as a note from you.
Never happened.
Okay. I don't know what this is about though.
I have no idea where that came from.
I don't know.
That's
if,
so
I don't know if lost.
Maybe that question disappeared.
Well, no, I don't know if lost
What's going
necessarily, but okay. So there was. There was.
I only had one book disappear. Yeah, not two. I had Murder Ramos. There's one book. When you said two, I was like, oh, I don't know, because I was one book.
That's crazy. Okay, I don't know where this came from.
That doesn't count.
We'll just disqualify.
Yeah.
it.
I had an entire issue stolen by a company.
Yeah.
By a company. Like,
FedEx lost this.
Yeah.
And I had a number, and they were like, we don't know what happened to it.
Is this Marvel Knights?
It was a comics thing. I had to think the book again from Xerox, small Xerox.
Wow.
It was horrible. It was only one book.
Yeah.
All right, well, look, we're going to pretend that one never happened.
Okay.
All right.
And move on.
You all
How
lose.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Let me see. Okay. At the first convention this person ever attended as a professional, one person spoke in the entire 3 days. That's a long time for this person. One person. Was it continual, I wonder?
As a professional.
All right, any thoughts?
Alex.
I'm gonna
Friendly,
say,
I talk to everybody.
I'm gonna say Vito.
I'm gonna say Al.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with Alex.
It seems like a big deal.
Like no one took.
Like no one spoke to him that first time, but then like the next time.
Only one person spoke to him.
As a professional, I'm gonna say Alex.
All right, well, the person who had to endure this miserable convention, raise your hand. Dang, that's rough.
So it was my very. I had gotten. This was when Frank Greenberg was
Also,
still
why does
at
everybody
Segura.
know Ultimate Thoughts?
I can tell you why, but like.
This was when there used to be this guy, Frank Greenberg, who used to do all the big conventions in New York City, and I had gotten my very first table at a convention, my very first issue of Green Lantern had just come out. Nobody knew who I was, and I was tabling, and the only person who would talk to
The
me.
guy threatened you.
No, the only person who would talk to me was the guy who was sitting next to me, Steve Ellis, who had just come out with his first issue of Spider-Woman.
That's wow.
And nobody wanted to talk to him.
Yeah, you go.
So